All right, Nick, we're about to jump into a game of Ravaged Star. Any thoughts before we play the game?
Well, I haven't tried it yet. All I've done is look at the miniatures, and I am really excited by the sword and spear ladies and the big giant mechs. That sounds fun. And I'm playing into some weird spiky guys.
That some veil touched.
Veil touched.
Yeah.
I don't know the names yet.
That's good.
I haven't been exposed to this world yet, so I'm looking forward to this crash course that you're about to give me.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You're gonna teach me, go easy on me.
I will.
Let me win.
I will give you the honor and respect to try to bash your skull in.
Oh, I'm coming. I'm coming with the hammer. The hammer's called the Negotiator.
Yes, it is. You remember the name of it?
Thing. How could you forget that? This thing's like, oh.
Yeah, that's
cool.
It's
got. It's like this big mech, and all got a giant hammer. I love it. It's great. Let's do it.
You're going to be doing some play testing. So we have these two.
So Nick right now is choosing models of the Immari.
Can I have both these and this? No.
Why not?
Okay.
Why not?
You can have everything in here or everything in here. But what about that and that?
But the helicopters are cool, and the big guy with the giant
because
hammer is cool.
we haven't tested the attachments for this yet. You're trying to help me out here, right?
He
comes in and says, "Oh, do whatever you want." I'm like, "Okay, this box or this box. I want to mix the boxes." I'm like,
I'll do whatever
I thought
you want.
said you'll do whatever I want.
You also asked me, "What do I want?" So,
but I give you choices. I
But
said, "You want A or B?"
I like
a bit of each.
But here's the question though.
This guy is fun.
If someone were to buy these, could they mix them?
Okay, so the way I'm going to be designing the game at first is that there won't be points cost per unit. Well, I'm going to eventually add that. There's a lot of popular demand for that. But for playtesting purposes, it's going to start off as detachments. And so the very first attachments that I should create is what comes in the box.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, once those are play tested, then I will create detachments that are just mix and match or that require duplicates of things. Like you want an army of all drones? Fine. You'll have to buy this box like 5 times right now until it comes into stores. But I'll make an attachment for that, for the people who have bought 5 of those boxes and they just want to play it that way. Or you want to bring 2 of those big guys with hammers, or you want to bring
big guy with hammer is really cool.
Yeah, like a double.
Are these cannons too?
Yes.
Okay, so at least he has some shooting. Okay.
Oh, he does.
Cool.
He does.
And this guy looks like he's squashing some sort of bug.
Yeah. So his attack, he's got 2 attacks. The drill is cool. The way the drill works, you only get 1 attack, but if you hit, you get to keep making attacks.
Yeah.
At -1 to hit each time.
Okay.
You've seen similar mechanics. But if you do the hand first, it has 2 attacks. And if you make both hits, then he actually grabs on to the neck of whatever he's doing, and this thing gets a bonus. So you're taking a chance though, because you can only attack with 1 weapon.
Oh, if you watch any of my battle reports, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, so if you take that, because if you miss with that hand, you don't get to use the other one. So you can just say, I'm just going to use this one.
No, let's do it.
But it's way better if you get the hand attack, because then you picture him holding the neck of the thing and going. You
don't convince me. I'm already convinced.
It doesn't work half the time, but when it does,
He's already convinced. He's already convinced.
Well, it's like, what's that spell in Age of Sigmar that Nagash does? Is it Curse of Years or something? Where it's like, you roll 10 dice, and every 6 plus is a mortal wound, and then you take those 6s and you roll them again, and every 5, and you rarely get any more than like 2, but when it works, you get like 15 or 20.
I love the chance. I love the little bit of chance.
Yeah.
Small chance of success. Certainty of death. Let's do it. The spear and shield. That's cool. I like that. Are these the same unit?
Yes. The weapons right now, it's kind of like a blend of weapons.
Yeah.
So it's no difference having the spears and having the swords.
And, like, they don't look all that stunty, to be honest.
No. Well, everything's scaled higher, right?
Yeah. Do these guys have shooting, or is it just close combat? Yeah.
Those ones are just close combat.
So I've got a lot of close combat.
Well, and then these drones have a lot of shooting. Your big dude.
These are nice drones. I like
the ambassador.
The ambassador. He's got decent shooting. Like, it's not great shooting because you can't make.
Can I take this one home?
Oh yeah, look.
This is deja vu. This has happened before.
I wish there was a close combat Tau unit that I could put it into.
He's still thinking Tau.
I was trying to pitch him on a Tau equivalent faction for Ravaged Star.
Oh.
That is. No, listen.
You already got like some drone like stuff with the Immari. Just use that.
That's my pitch. It's not like the tower in 40K right now. It's not like this.
Like all anime and stuff.
It's not anime high tech. What it is
all anime and stuff.
High tech that has been through the ringer. So like barely holding on. They are ravaged by
some sort of
star.
So like their tech, like you could tell it used to be high tech, but they're like
a post-apocalyptic looking.
Post-apocalyptic high tech.
But the faction I want to do next, which I'm going to be pushing for, is space elven vampires.
Space vampires.
Yeah. So like an elvish vampire.
Yeah.
And they're not necessarily evil, by the way. We can like throw throw this completely. They're actually the good faction. You know, but they just happen to be vampires. Well, whatever. We eat animals. Is it really any different to drink the blood of other people instead of animals?
We had a great discussion about this last night.
Yeah.
Is it any different to drink the blood of people?
Like, really? It's just
We're all animals at the end of the day.
When you go to a galactic scale, it's going to look different. Anyways, but here's what the army actually looks like, though. It's undead Immari and undead Gorkog. So imagine this dude, but cracked open and like a skeleton dude side. And the whole thing just like wrecked and reassembled with some bones or whatever.
That's got awesome.
Yeah. So I want a faction that looks like that. Because then you just take the existing stuff and then you can like sprinkle in some stuff that people are like, hey, is that going to be a faction? Like you can actually experiment. Because that's always the problem is like you can't do too many factions at once. But if you had a faction, and I think that they should do this with Tau, by the way. Because I think Games Workshop is...
Now he's listening. Okay.
Well, I think they're missing out a huge opportunity. To just create like single kit auxiliaries for the Tau.
Yes.
And introduce a bunch of Xeno space.
Oh, it'd be so easy to like. Here's a group to like modify the guard or this or.
But not guard. I mean like Xeno species.
Yeah, there's so many.
Yeah, and just make them, and they can make them up, and that way you can, and then they can take those same ones and they can introduce them in kill team boxes or whatever.
100%. Do you know there's a in the tower there's a race of floating psychic polar bears. Like in the war, there's a race of psychic floating polar bears.
You know what? So we're not gonna make our own game. We're just gonna make all those Xeno species that can
that'd
join
be great.
the Tau.
That'd be
We're
great.
just gonna make proxy miniatures for it, and we'll make up our own rules for it, and be like, this won't be tournament legal or anything legal, but now we get to play Tau with all of the proper.
It'd be fantastic.
All the conquered Xeno stat, because that's what it should be, right? It should be because they're going around conquering all these other Xeno species.
Liberating.
However you want to word it.
Tomato, whatever your propaganda.
Drink blood of humans. It's all good.
It's all good. It's all the same. And so, like, why isn't it represent? We just have like the Kroot and the Vespid, kind of, and that's it. And that's really it.
Oh, you put this in the front of a Gene Stealer cult vehicle.
Yes. Yeah, you don't want to be in front of that. It's like if you got run over by a tank, it would kill you anyway. So, like, what's the point of putting that in front? It's just like we don't want to just run you over. We want to like just turn you into goop. And
Slice and dice, man.
These guys are so cool.
Yes. Shield maidens.
Especially their hairstyle is awesome.
Yeah, you like it?
No, I have to say, out of all three factions, you think Gorkog would be my favorite because I was the one that wanted to push for Space Bugs, obviously, because I love Space Bugs, coming from Zerg and Starship Troopers, and obviously Tyranids from Warhammer 40k. But as the Immari came out, I was like, I think I dig them the most.
You know what? Their aesthetic, I got to admit. I love I feel similarly about the Veil Touched. I love the Veil Touch, of course I do. But the Immari? Man!
Yeah.
Oh, the aesthetic?
Veil Touch are fun, but they never got me excited. The Immari gets me, they get me excited. Like that dude.
Like, look at this guy. Yes.
That dude.
Look at this dude.
Like,
exactly.
Mainly like their mechanized stuff. Like I love the Shield Maidens and Shield Wardens, but to me they're like, yeah, that's cool. But like I've seen Shield and Spear before, right? And but like watching these big mechs going around with like this dude with this dwarven looking face, where the pilot goes.
Yeah, the ambassador.
Yeah, and I love that they were called Ambassador and the Diplomat. It's like, and then so I called it. What did I call his hammer? The Negotiator.
The Negotiator.
Yeah, that's right. That's the name of his hammer. Is the Negotiator. So and it's
the Negotiator.
Yeah, because
good.
negotiations failed, right?
Yeah.
What's that from? That's a clip.
That's Star Wars.
No, that's Fifth Element. That's the Fifth Element. Yep.
Oh yeah, where he's like, I'll negotiate, and he goes and he just turns around and pops.
We're setting it so to negotiate. All right, and he goes in and he like kills the head of the leader.
No, there's something else.
There's a bit in Star Wars where what do you call this then? Aggressive negotiations.
You know, that's true. And I'm sure it's been done a million times. But there was something specifically, and I'm sure somebody can leave a comment where there's a line in a movie or a TV show where it's like, I'm going to go negotiate, and then he comes back like covered in blood.
We could Google it.
And he said negotiations failed.
Now I want to know.
And that's what I always pictured, and now I can't picture it. So that's
okay. We'll look at the comments.
These don't go with these, do they?
I don't know. No, those are hammers. They go with those guys.
You don't even look. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's actually not him. He's got a broken hammer.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. I want to run a unit of these.
You know what? Cool. I'll get you some. All right. I'll get you some. All right.
Hey, man,
I'm sure I can supply you with a few models. So
if I can put a unit of 10 together, I'll run them as I'll either kit bash them to have like Tau guns, and run them as like maybe like
Like an
fireworks or
auxiliary,
something
right?
like
Yeah.
Or I could run them as my Gene Sword cults.
Oh yes, they have
Pretty cool.
for Gene Sword Cult.
Oh,
They
interesting.
could also just make a really cool guard unit.
Mm.
Like run them as like Scions or something like that.
Yeah. So 15% discount, is that good enough?
Sure.
Because you never know if he's joking. So this is the force that Nick will be using today in our playtest game of Ravaged Star that I'll be showing him and demoing with him. And on this side, this is the Armored Carnage Veil Touched portion that I'll be using. So I've never used this detachment as is, so I'm excited for that. I'm also excited to see Nick's reaction to kind of seeing all these chonky guns move around.
Whoa! That's my reaction. They're cool. They're really cool.
Yeah. And that's what I'm waiting for. Like a game of that is what I'm waiting for. But yeah, so just in a general sense, that's what it is. So stay tuned for this. This will be in the play testing battle report that we post soon. All right, Nick, this is post our game of Ravaged Star. So initial thoughts?
That was a lot of fun. I gotta say, Ravaged Star, I was really impressed. I was purposely not watching your guys' videos to not be biased and to come in fresh because I wanted you to explain the game.
Okay, yeah.
And I was surprised by how quickly I got it.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
I saw the first iteration of the rules.
Yes.
And it was far removed from this.
Agreed.
This felt smooth. It felt elegant.
Yeah.
I felt I could understand the tactics and nuance behind it really quickly.
Yeah. And
it felt pretty in depth. I was very happy with it. It was fun, and there were like fun rules, like big guy with a giant hammer, being able to explode things, fire into combat and risk killing your own guys, charge through things. Like there was some cool rules interactions, and it didn't feel stale. It didn't feel like it didn't feel like it was too boring with the units, but it also didn't feel too complex.
Yeah,
and it struck a good balance.
Good.
I was impressed.
Yeah, that's good. So I don't know about you, Nick, but when I learn a new rule set, that's the most painful part for me when I'm playing a new game. If it's too complex, it's just, okay, I get overwhelmed. Would you say within the first turn? Like by the end of the first turn?
Yeah, by the end of the first turn, I was like, okay, I got this. I understand where the rules. I understand the heart behind why they're doing certain things, the rules mechanics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt the same the very first time I played as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
You can't see your face right now, but you have this like look of longing and wistfulness, and like it's like as if you're like encountering your first love. It's like, oh.
I do remember the first rules iteration, and it wasn't as fluid.
No.
Yeah, there was a lot of stops along the way. It definitely felt different, and this certainly feels more like a upscaled skirmish game as opposed to a board game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I would describe it.
Yeah, very much. That's a good explanation.
So detachments. Okay, let's talk about like the balance of detachments.
I only played the one, so I can't really comment, but it seemed like it was fairly balanced. There was some challenges with your units are really tough and killy.
The Armored Carnage War Pack, that specific war pack, they were strong. Elites and heavies.
Basically, all of your army was good, whereas my army was kind of like, it had some really good stuff and some weaker stuff, but I was able to buff the weaker stuff, so it actually did something.
Yeah, with your mechanics.
Yeah. Mechanics. Heroes all.
Yeah, that was really sweet. You know what? I love how you utilize your mechanics, because seemingly it's like, oh, what are these guys going to do in the back? But no, they went in and they actually made a difference.
Oh, every time.
Every time.
Objectives, they supported guys, they healed guys. It was awesome.
Yeah. Absolutely. MVP ambassador, big dude. Huh.
The hero unit that I'm going to choose is the drones with the heavy weapons.
Oh yeah, the anti-armor.
Not only did they damage the tank and take the side objective, but they also sniped out your character.
Oh my goodness, you're right.
And that changed the game. That now going to take your home objective for 2 turns.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah,
they were MVPs, I would say.
100%. Followed closely by both engineers.
Yeah. Awesome.